having that X factor is very important to set you apart from the crowd. So we at SPJMR's Global Management Program will attempt today to resolve your concerns in choosing the right MBA program for you. Let us be the wind beneath your wings as you take your first step towards it. So quickly, without further ado, coming to the GMP partner schools. So the participants will undergo a GMP semester here for 6 months, post which they will fly out to their respective partner schools and pursue the master's or MBA in the specialization of their choosing. So the JAN cohort has available to them a variety of different specializations ranging from finance, marketing, supply chain, and even analytics. So the detailed brochures will be available to you in the chat box, and we will be answering your questions towards the end of the session. And to give you a little flavor of the program, we have with us today Bhavana Chandaka, a proud GMP survivor, and all set to fly out to Brandeis very soon. And back to on 100% scholarship. Yes, you heard that right, 100% scholarship. So I must say, Bhavana is the perfect senior and role model one could ask for. Of course, her academic mettle is unapparent, but it does not stop there. She's an accomplished dancer, she loves traveling, and has even been vlogging it for a while. She hails from a BTech background and she has worked with Verizon for close to 3 years. So here's presenting my beloved senior, Bhavana. Hi Bhavana, how are you doing today?
Hi, Zeel. Thank you so much for a beautiful introduction. I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good as well, thanks. So Bhavana, tell us about your MBA journey and how did you decide to pursue an MBA?
Okay. So, as you already said, I'm a BTech grad, computer science engineer. I joined Verizon, and there, with the 3 years, I was able to sit in a lot of function calls where we have managers, we have customers, and there is a lot of negotiation which goes on between the company's capabilities and what the customer wants. Sitting in that call, I realized that this is something I want to pursue, and this is something I want to learn. Uh, so that was one push I got from the experience I had towards MBA. So the
Right.
first step was giving my CAT and trying for IIMs and all the best colleges in India. After getting my CAT score, it was not that great, but I wanted to still go for a very good college and not settle for anything mediocre. While doing that, I started looking at SPGMR's website, and I came across GMP. Initially, I thought it was just a student exchange program and it will be similar as what we have in engineering. But this is something different. And this was different in many parts because I was actually getting a degree from a college abroad and getting the brand name of SPGMR as well. So this was so I decided to go for it, but I had a lot of questions in mind, and best way to get those answers is somebody who has experienced it. So my next target was to get in contact with the alumni of this program through LinkedIn. They helped me a lot. They helped me in knowing how the life is in the partner school, how the life is in JMP. As you said, there are a lot of partner school. I had to narrow down to few
Yeah.
because you get two interviews, and I wanted to get both from a college which I want to go to.
Right.
Back of my mind, I always wanted to go to US and study there.
Mm-hmm.
As you said that traveling is my passion, so obviously US you'll get to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And when it comes with MBA, it is always a ocean of opportunities.
Right.
So I narrowed my options to Brandeis and Stevens.
Right.
So you actually get to know a lot about fees as well when you go through the websites. When I go to these colleges directly, the fee is huge, and when I go through GMP, the difference is amazing. So I thought that again, one more thing which pushed me towards GMP. Third
Yeah.
thing would be a lot of partner school give you scholarship opportunities, and Brandeis was giving 100% scholarship. I
Right.
wanted to apply for that.
Right.
So that was how I narrowed down to GMP and to Brandeis and Stevens. With this, I think whenever we are looking at our MBAs, we are always confused. as an engineer. So all
Right.
that confusion goes away when you get in contact with the program people, and sometimes they are not that responsive. But for me, GMP was good at that, and I think that is one more thing which I said yes to, and
Right.
I went ahead with GMP.
That's great to know. So, Bhavana, I just wanted to understand a little bit more about your process of choosing the right college. So, what all was the research you did, and what all were your touch points in making this decision?
Yes. So first and foremost was obviously the brand name, because MBA is not just what you learn academically, it's also about what brand name you carry. So as we all know, SPGMR is well known in India, and the partner schools, all of them are really good and quite well known in their own countries as well as in the world. So because I already had USA set in my mind, I
Right.
wanted to go for these two colleges, Brandeis and Stevens. And when you get opportunities of two colleges, if you don't get in one, you always have the second one ready. So
True.
it was not about, like, if I go on my own to these colleges, I might not get in. I might not know how to approach them, know about how to prepare. But here I had full support
Right.
from day one.
Right.
And filtering was easy because I already had set my mind to do an MBA in analytics.
Right.
So Brandeis gives me an opportunity to do that. I am doing. I'll be going for an MBA with data analytics. So overall, I think that is how I filtered my options. It was a
Okay.
mix of everything: alumni input, the feedback
Right.
from the GMP team, as well
Right.
as the team of the partner school. Because GMP team has such a good relationship with them that you get your responses immediately, and it does not feel like you're talking to somebody who is abroad,
Right.
and you don't feel that nervousness, you don't feel anything, you actually feel that you're talking to somebody who knows you.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
so that is
yeah,
how I filtered my options.
that's good to know. So, Bhavana, since you mentioned support from Brandeis, exploring along the same lines, students mostly have jitters that they're going to uncharted territories and they do not know anybody there, and we do not know what kind of support we can expect. So, just in terms of that, what was your experience with the admissions office, or probably even your seniors in Brandeis currently?
Yes. So I think I was right there with this jitters when I started with the program. And with the COVID coming in, obviously, these jitters have just become multiple folds.
Right.
So the first thing was when I connected with the school, they actually told me about what all documents they would need and everything. And they actually told me everything in step-by-step format. So it was never a huge deal that I will not be able to do it, and this is a lot of work. So
Right.
initially, before doing that, actually, I would go to the alumni network we have in different partner schools. They're very open to your questions, and it need not be just your personal questions. You can actually ask them how's the life there, and they would
Right.
give you a perfect answer. And when you get to know something like this from a person who has experienced it, you feel that, okay, he's somebody I connect to, and he's
Right.
somebody who will help me out. So that was the first thing, which was really good. The second
Yeah.
would be the communication with the schools. Um, Sometimes you're not ready, or you're not sure what you want to do. But
Right.
Brandeis, my partner school, really helped me explore the options. And they actually gave me that if you're not ready right now, you have the support of people who are working. Talk to them, get to know their work, and then decide what you want to do. So I think every time you talk about going to an MBA, everybody is like, are you doing HR? Are you doing analytics? What
Right.
are you planning to do? Sometimes it's
Right.
not needed to know everything on the day one.
Right.
So GMP would help you through that as well, because I thought manager is the only position you get after an MBA, but that's
Yeah.
not true. Trust me, it's not.
Right.
And I think GMP had a lot of courses like consulting, which told me about what is consulting, what is analytics, and that is when I got to know that it's not just a managerial job. It's everything you want to do. So engineer as an engineer, I had no clue what is finance.
Yes.
but GMP taught me finance, and proud to
Wow.
say that now I can go to interviews and say this, yes, I know finance, I
Yeah.
can do
That's nice.
financial
Yeah.
analysis. Yes.
Yeah.
So that way, I think, yes, even if you don't know right now, it's okay. Get into the program and you will know it, things.
Yeah, so that's such a relief because I think most of us starting on our MBA journey don't know what specialization we want to get into. We just like, want to get started with like a basic general management kind of
Yes,
a program and then explore along the way. So yeah, it's definitely I think a plus for me to know that both the colleges give this flexibility. So yeah,
they do,
that's
they do. And the best part about it is you learn through your journey. You don't need to learn it from the day one. It's good that you know if it is on the day one. If you know it, it's good. But if you don't fear, because there are people, there is support. Because I am that person, so I can relate to it so much. So I learned through the way, and
right.
I learned through doing it. So
That's wonderful. And Bhavana, since we're on topic
yeah.
and we're talking about college and life after college, did you also come across the kind of roles available to us after MBA? You mentioned about more than one managerial role. So if you could expand on that.
Yes. So currently, as I said, I'm done with GMP. I'm actually going to Brandeis. So they have this handshake tool where they keep telling you about the opportunities which are there, and you can apply for them. And it's not about, see, there is a difference between having a resume here and having a resume there. So
Right.
how do you actually bridge that gap? There are teams which continuously help you. You have career coaches, you have people to talk to, fellowship is there. So what happens is, each step, each resume, each interview is actually supported by these people. So you get to enhance everything. And then if you don't know what all are there, you can actually have a conversation with your coach, career coach there, and they would tell you that with your course, with your subjects, programs, what all can you apply for. And if you really want to know, okay, what is the job description, I think it is available in most of the websites. But
Yeah.
if you want to know really what happens in the job, go to alumni. They will
Right.
help you out. They will let you know how their life goes and what all they are earning. And it's good to know that, because it's not just about the job, right? It's
Right.
about how you live your life there when you think about studying abroad. So alumni helps you in that,
Right.
and
Definitely.
reaching out to professors abroad, and professors to partner school is as easy as reaching out to GMP team, because they have
Yeah.
good relationship, and they respond to you like, it's so quick that you don't feel
Yeah.
like it's happening from a country abroad. So
Wow. I think that would be like a first for most of us. So yeah, definitely that's refreshing. So and also Bhavna, coming to the burning question of the hour, I think which all of us have on our mind. How did you get the 100% scholarship, and what all were the fire parts you had to walk through to get it?
yes. So I think this is one question everybody wants to know. So let's go by step by step. Let's go step by step.
Yeah.
So first thing would be, yes, the form which I filled for my partner school. SOPs, LORs matter. They matter because that is the first paper or first document they read to know you. So they can only know you when you write something about yourself, write about your experience. And for me, I thought that giving time to these documents will help, because they get to know me as my experience with my purpose, why I want to do an MBA.
Right.
After my forms, next came the interviews. I had two interviews. First interview was with GMP team, SPGMR team, and as a proper engineer, I prepared. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your career, and I had job roles, so I prepared all that. But what I got to know from this interview was they just wanted to know why I want to do an MBA. Will I be fit for this MBA, and will I be able to do it?
Okay.
Because it's a very special program. It's not like other programs where you get in, you decide, and you go ahead. No, you decide from the day one where you want to go, and you see
Right.
yourself there.
Right.
The second interview was with Brandeis. I didn't know what to expect. Again, went back to my list of questions.
Yeah.
But here I got to know they didn't just want to know what I did in my academics, what I did in my work experience, but they wanted to know me. They actually wanted to know me, my interest.
Okay.
And as you already mentioned, I love to travel. They told
Yeah.
me about you can come here, you can explore, because they want to see my personality, not just what I learned, what I scored.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I felt that it was an interview where everyone gets a chance. You get to explain yourself, you get to know yourself better and know the interviewer.
Right.
So that was the second step, interviews.
Okay.
And after the interview, obviously, as a person who thinks that only serious interviews matter, so I thought that I might not get in. But thankfully, kept checking my mail with some hope. And
Yeah.
the next step thing was 65% scholarship from Brandeis
Wow.
in my
Yeah.
mail. And that was really good. I was so happy.
Yeah.
But with 65%, I was still scared because financially I didn't think I will be able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually thought that maybe this is not the place. I would not be able to afford and go.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I contacted GMP team before giving all my hopes in.
Yeah.
So they said, just wait. Maybe there will be another round of shuffling of pool and shuffling
Mm-hmm.
of few candidates, and you might get a better deal, a better scholarship.
Right.
And thankfully, I waited. I did not jump my gun and just
Yeah.
went for it.
Wow.
And I got 100% scholarship. And
Wow.
that was one day I will definitely remember.
That's amazing. Yeah, that sounds like a day you want to live again and again, for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, Bhavana, two things really stuck out to me. So, like a university which looks at the holistic profile and not just the numbers on you, that is,
Yes,
I think that is something we really need because there's so much more than what grades we get or what subjects we like.
exactly,
So, yeah.
exactly.
So I think the entire process is really designed to take in our entire holistic personality. That's
Yes.
a nice one.
And
And
it
again,
actually helps you think like it's not just numbers. A lot of us don't really have exactly what we are on our numbers, right? So you
right,
actually get equal opportunity here to
exactly, yeah,
and that relationship is so good that
yeah,
even if you don't get in, you get
yeah,
into a different college with more confidence
yeah,
because you
yeah.
know that you can crack it.
Exactly. So it's like a clean slate, because
Yes,
we all have like equal potential, but for some reason the other, our undergrads in our high school might not have been that great. So I think this is
exactly.
like a new starting point where we can kind of redeem ourselves. And I think it's just like an opportunity I definitely grabbed onto.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. And also, other thing that is sticking out to me again and again is how close knit the entire community is, and how they're just like a phone call away, and that completely changes your university experience, doesn't it? When you get the answers to the questions.
Exactly. See, when
Yeah,
you go for MBA, you always think everything needs to be professional. Every mail, every
yeah,
message has to be professional, but it's not that with the network of alumni. Because when you talk to them, yes, initially I started with all professional questions, but I went up to saying that how do you live there? How do you do your budgeting?
yeah,
And what do you buy? What should I get? Everything. And
yeah,
trust me, they answer every question of yours because they understand
yeah,
you. They were right there
yeah,
few years back or few months back.
right,
So I feel that it is helpful,
yeah,
because MBA is not just learning what is there in the book, but knowing people, understanding people. And GMP helped me in that,
mhm,
because everybody who goes through this journey connects in some way or the other, and they
right,
want to help you out.
right.
So network does help.
Definitely does. And I think it can kind of also be the turning point of your decision, because probably if you don't have a network around you, you don't want to jump into an abyss all alone.
Exactly,
So, yeah,
exactly. Because you'll see, you can be adventurous, you can take that risk,
yeah,
but when you know there is somebody who can help you out, just knowing that gives you a lot of confidence.
right, true. And sure, so Bhavana, you're almost at the end of the transition from GMP to Brandeis. So tell us a little bit more about that. How are you preparing for it? What are the things on your mind right now?
Yes. So I'm somebody who loves checklists. So I'll just
Mhm.
say that I have multiple checklists right now going
All right.
on.
Yeah.
But even if you're not that person, your university would help you out, because
Okay.
every mail coming from partner school has things like what all documents to carry, what all things to carry. And even if you are not at the end, in the middle also, you just ask any GMP team, they would tell you this is the person you should contact, or they will tell you themselves what to do. um, in this, I would also say there is a huge question mark, that is visa process when you go to US, because
Yeah.
a lot of us are scared. What will happen? What if I invest in GMP and then not get into visa? I was that person. But I would say let's assure you will get
Yeah.
it, because every document gets ready, and alumni have this checklist and documents ready. So you always have a sample which you can see
Yeah.
and make yourself a copy of it or get a
Right.
document. So when you have all these documents ready, it's easier to face an interview. The visa
Yeah.
interview is smooth when you have all the documents ready. So I would say
Yeah.
that yes, getting a visa is hard, but not when you are prepared. And that is what this whole course will make you prepared for it. And alumni, sorry, yeah. So overall, I would say when you go, just be prepared. And all these interviews, you can actually ask help from GMP. They give you mock interviews, mock visa interviews if you want.
Mhm.
And you can know where you're lagging. I was really scared about my fundings. So I have a 100% scholarship, but then again, you have to support yourself there. So I took a loan, and GMP has loan from Axis Bank, and one more, some few other options
Yeah.
are already there. If you're struggling with loan, contact the team. They help you out with what should be done and who to contact. Uh, I was set with funds, I was set with academics, and that is how I did my interviews. For the next journey, I am almost set,
Wow.
still trying to complete my checklist. But yeah, that is how I am doing it.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. Like, must be exciting to be in that in between phase, where you're done with GMP and now you're flying out. So,
Yes.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
I think it's a mixed feeling. Even though it's just been weeks or even days, but I still miss GMP.
Mhm.
It's a tough course.
Yeah.
It makes you learn a lot.
Yeah.
But I would not say just academically, but you learn how to be a leader, how to support each other, how to work in a team.
Yeah.
So I would miss all of that,
Yeah.
because that is what I learned. And even though being an engineer, I was scared because I didn't know finance, I didn't know analytics, anything. But when I came to GMP, I came with a clean slate. I learned everything, and now I'm confident
Right.
enough to go for an interview and say that yes, I can do financial analysis and I can
Wow.
learn.
Yeah.
So it was a good journey. GMP was a very good journey for me, in terms of the connections I had. The group work actually taught me how to deal with people, how to
Right.
negotiate.
Right.
And our batch was small, and that small batch was very beneficial for me, because I had constant feedback and conversations with all my faculties,
Yeah.
and they helped me so much, not just growing in the subject but growing as a person.
Right.
So it's a mixed feeling because of that, because I don't know if this will be the same in the partner schools, but yes, through the
Yeah.
mails I think it will be the same.
It will. It will. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then obviously I'm excited to go to US,
Yeah.
excited to
I'm
learn more,
excited
travel
for
more.
you. Yeah.
I'm so happy you said that, thank you so much.
Yeah. And yeah, so Bhavna, since we're talking about GMP, very excited to know more about your journey and what can we expect as incoming participants.
Yes. So, as I already said, even if you don't know management, you will learn. It's just that you have to be open about it. You need
Okay.
to be open, saying that you will have to work with a lot of people, different people, uh, but you have to also look about what you want to learn, as in how to enhance yourself. Is leadership something you want to work on? Is communication something which you want to work on? Because academically you will learn about you finance, you will learn about analytics, you will learn about Python, AI. Because even if, like, I wanted to do data analytics but I didn't know much about it, but when I came to this course and I did AI, ML, Python, such courses, I realized that this is something I can actually do. Because here you get to learn with people, and you
Mhm.
get to learn, and you get to know where you stand, and then
Right.
start from there. It's just the starting
Yes.
point where you get to know that what where do you stand, and then you enhance, and in just one course you enhance to a level where you are saying that yes, I can do this now.
Right.
And each course you will have a opportunity of becoming a coco.
Mhm.
So class coordinator for that subject means that you will be interacting with faculty, you will interact with your with your classmates, and
Yes.
this communication, I think, makes you ready for the corporate world or any industry you are going to. So that way GMP helped me a lot. Again, I would say, can you hear me? I think, am I audible? Yes. um, I think, okay. So overall, I would say that we had other skills, as in negotiating skills and leadership skills, which were built along with the academics we had. And we had courses like consulting, where initially I always thought that MBA, after MBA, you will only become a manager, but that's not true. There are a lot of job opportunities. Uh, After doing a course in consulting, I got to know that I can actually become a consultant, which I was very scared of, that I will not be able to become a consultant, or किसी को समझा नहीं पाऊंगी to go ahead with option. But with these courses, I built up that confidence that a consultant can convince people, and I can be that consultant. So with this, I think a lot of job opportunities opened for me, not just technically. Now I can pursue other job descriptions and job roles.
Yeah.
So that is what one thing I which opened my eyes, and this was thanks to GMP.
That's nice. That's wonderful. So, Bhavana, you're all set to go. So, what is, as we part now, what is one piece of advice that you would like to give all of us starting on our journey?
One piece of advice I would like to give you all will be, always be ready and open for opportunities, because you never know where your life takes you.
Right. That's wonderful.
Because this is something I applied on myself as well. And when you leave a job, you're always depressed that what will happen to my future. But I'm thankful that I looked ahead and tried something new, something great.
Yeah.
And now I'm just flying to US in few days.
Wow. Exciting. So, Bhavana, this brings us to the end of our session. It was wonderful chatting with you, and thank you for taking out the time today.
Thank you so much, Zelia. This was amazing.
I'm glad. So, and for my participants in the audience, so you've learned about GMP today and what GMP is all about. If you're wondering about what next after GMP and the journey after you move on to your partner school, we have Akshni Jhara, who's currently an alum with the Robert School of Business in US, and he's currently working as a risk analyst in New York City. How exciting is that? So you can tune in on 28th of August at 6:30 p.m. And we're just going to talk about him and the next opportunities that await you. So
Take a question, Zeel, now.
yes, ma'am. So everybody, we're all open for questions. You can either unmute yourself or post it in the chat box.
We have a set of few questions that has already been posted to us. So I saw it on the chat. Somebody's asking what is the difference between the PGP program and the GMP program. So the PGP program is mainly focused. It's like you start in India, you go abroad to do like a fast track kind of a course in one of the partners universities, but you come back to SPJMR and then you get a diploma from us, the PGTM diploma. Whereas GMP, where you do the first semester here with us, then you go to our partner school, complete your studies there. So the first 6 months that you're doing here will be considered as a semester, and it reduces your study time in the partner school. You get a certificate for those 6 months here, and here how Bhavana mentioned quite a few times, we kind of expose you to the basics of management. We teach you marketing, operations, finance, consulting, and all those kind of things. So if I'll say, like, it's like mota moti 1 year management program compressed into 6 months. So we give you an overall view and then you can decide. So a lot of students, when they join us, they're not very sure whether they want to go for marketing or finance or consulting. And when they are when they experience those courses, they kind of gain the confidence, and then the partner schools are luckily very, very supportive and open. They'll give you a chance to decide your subjects 2 weeks after you reach them also. Yeah. So you go there, you complete your studies, and that's how you get a degree from the partner school. So depending on what you're studying, an MBA or an MS, you'll get that degree. You'll be an alumnus of SPJMR as well as the partner school. And because when you're studying here in SP, your classmates are going to 3 or 4 different schools, your network kind of multiplies with them. So I think this was one point. Bhavana didn't really touch upon that. But when she was studying here, she's got other classmates going to Stevens and USC and all that. So your network just multiplies, right? So this is the difference between those two. Then I think I kind of answered the question, what is GMP also? Just give me a second, please. I'll just go through the list.
Yeah, and we also have a question asking what type of profile suit the program.
Yeah, sure. So the profile, we offer programs which are open to freshers. So not for the Jan intake, but for the June intake, if somebody is in their final year of graduation, can also apply. The course starts in June, but your results can be out by, like, say, August, September, before you start applying to completing the partner school formalities and the visa process. As of now, for the January batch, we are looking at graduates. If you have a CAT, ZAT, GMAT, or a GRE score, very, very good. If you don't have, you can fill your form as a deferred candidate. And then by end of October, you can give us your valid GMAT or GRE scores. All those details are given on the website, or you can always connect to the team. Our numbers are mentioned there. And if you have work experience, well and good. Like some courses, analytics course which Bhavana is going to do, they prefer a 2-year work experience, but they're open to taking freshers also. So in US, there are a lot of opportunities for freshers for MBA as well as for MS. We have a tie-up with USC Marshall where we are giving you a supply chain specialization, which is #1 in the world. We have around 20 specializations to offer you. You can go through the details. Divya Mahesh here is part of the GMP team. You can always get in touch with us. Yeah. Sorry.
And ma'am, another question is how can they select a branch and can it be different from their area of work experience?
Yes, definitely. So see, when you're enhancing your skills, it's because you want to either like continue, become a master of that, or you want to try something absolutely new. So I would say an MBA is like a jack of all trades, where you learn everything and how to manage things, whereas an MS is like really, really specialized. So say, suppose you're an engineer and now you want to go to get into marketing. Yeah. So you could always, there is an option in US schools where you can major and minor. So maybe you can major in analytics because that's something which is getting into all the fields right now, and you can minor in marketing. So yes, it's very much possible to, pursue your passion and get into something new. So what we suggest is, they say, suppose you're an engineer, you have no background of finance, and now you want to, you get interested and you want to do something in finance. Start building your CV. While you're an SP, work with somebody, one of the professors, do some company project with them, or you can probably write a paper with them. Once you reach the partner school, you can again continue. So what happens is you're building your CV. Now tomorrow when you go for an interview, you say, I was an engineer and now I want to get into finance and this is all what I have done. It shows that you're really interested and you have been working on it. Whereas like now I say I'm an engineer, now I want to get into finance, but I didn't work on building my CV at all. So, it's a process. So if you have the clarity as to what you want to do, you'll have to start working on it from day one. Yeah. So I think that's where the team and the alumni and all the professors at SPJMR and the partner school have come into the picture. If there's somebody who's like really looking at a change, you can please call up the team and we'll guide you best to our knowledge.
Ma'am, I would just like to add, I think I was that student who you're talking about. Same thing, a computer science engineer wanting to become an MBA, having an MBA degree. So yes, when I look at my resume, it's all technical, but the projects I did in GMP are definitely going to give that push to my resume, and I can actually go and apply for courses and apply for job opportunities, and for that I can show them that yes, in this 6 months I've taken up around 5 to 6 projects, which I did in different courses. And even though I come from an engineering background, I have these things which I've learned, and this will help me get a good job in the market. So I think yes, if you don't know, if this is not your field initially, it will become your field if you really want it to be.
I would just like to add on something to what Bhavana said. Once you reach the partner school, they have a lot of options available. So they have a team which constantly updates you about the openings that are available on campus. So, it could be like serving in the dining hall to being a teaching assistant. So it depends on you, your dedication, and how much you want to like really learn and earn, and where do you want to reach. So if you see yourself being a consultant and you want to be into the marketing thing, identify your faculty. So usme ke liye you have to like really do well in your studies, right? That's how the prof like notices, okay, Bhavana is doing well, I could probably look at something. And then you have to show interest. Reach out to the professor, say if there's a company project or if you need any help. So they have an undergrad school also, most of the schools, and they need teaching assistants. So that's where you come into picture. So you can always teach, help one prof, or you can do it with many people. You can actually, I think around 20 hours a week, you can work officially. There's a lot of noise. Can everybody mute themselves, please? Yeah, sorry. So, you need to build up your CV, and that's how you can actually do a lot of things. So, if anybody is really keen, you need to see what you want to do and why you want to do. So, your purpose has to be really, really clear. You know how they say that Arjun was hitting that thing, machli ki aankh. So, you should just be able to see that. If you get that kind of clarity, there's nothing stopping you. I mean, we've got alumni who are working with World Bank, IMF. She just mentioned us who's with USB. We have people with Black Box. We are going to have an alumnus soon working with. He's going to intern with Tesla. So like, who doesn't want to work like in companies like these? But for that, you have to have your focus. Yeah, that's all from me. Are there any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. So there's a question. Can they get a scholarship with a low GPA in the undergrad?
Yeah. So the thing is, you have to meet the minimum requirement because each country would have some kind of basic cutoff for everything. But as Bhavana had mentioned, the numbers are not everything. Say, suppose you have low marks in graduation, but you have good marks in, say, class 10 and 12, you have a good GMAT or GRE score, and your interview, your job profile is good. I think you do stand a chance. So see if you can fill the form and get interviewed. And our partner schools, I would say the mindset is a little different. India mein it's more about numbers and best. I think itna available hai, itne sare bacche hain, itne kam institutes hain, so they always pick and choose the best, and it's more about numbers again. Whereas a partner school, how Bhavana mentioned, gets to know you. So you might not have really good GMAT score, but they see something in you and they see that you're a fit for that partner school, for their school. They would definitely give you a chance. And you can always appear for interviews for 2 of the partner schools. Like say, suppose if it's for the January batch, you can try for USC and Stevens or Brandeis. Say, suppose you thought you would get 100% scholarship in Brandeis, but you don't. You always have an option of trying another school which fits into your budget and still is giving what you wanted to study. Yeah, so that's where we come into the picture, the admissions team. The professors are there, the GMP heads, and they also can guide you. So you can always just pick up the phone, call us up. We'll try and help you out. If you have any specific questions, we are going to have series of sessions with the admissions team as well as the heads from the partner schools. You can keep joining in. You a lot of doubts will get cleared, and then if you have specific questions for them, you can those will be answered as well.
And ma'am, another question is, what is the kind of placement assistance offered?
Okay, so placement is slightly different how it is in India. So like in India, it's like, the companies will come onto campus till the last person is placed. Whereas abroad, that doesn't happen. They'll make you employable. So, they'll help you with your CV. How Bhavana mentioned that there's a career coach. So they'll take you through what kind of, like, your profile, what you want to do, what you desire to do, what matches. They'll help you with selecting the courses. They'll make you help. So each application has to be, a cover letter has to be written a particular way. They'll help you with that. They'll teach you that. If there's an interview coming up, you're not confident enough, they'll help you with a mock interview as well. So they'll advertise postings, but you have to apply yourself. You have to reach out to the career cell saying, hey, I'm having issues. Can you help me out? Okay, alumni play a huge role. There are companies now where, the interns are only GMP students. So like an internship opens, the alumnus posts to SPJN office saying, "Acha, ye opening hai." We tell to our students, they get everything ready. And once the opening comes onto the portal, there are like 10 different GMP students who are ready to apply with the accurate kind of CV and everything. The seniors, once I was at EBS in 2019, and there was this girl who was about to get an interview call from Red Bus. And you won't believe, that time these Zoom interviews and weren't that common, but she had to interview in Munich and she was in Frankfurt. So the seniors actually made it a point that they interviewed her, where they made it sure that she sat in a place there was enough light, the distance was good enough that the sound reached properly, the body language, what questions could be asked, how to answer them. So this kind of support, I am not sure if other people would give, because GMP is kind of a small family, which is like a 500 plus kind of alumni. So we still consider ourselves as a close-knit family. And how Bhavana had mentioned that these guys were in your shoes a few years ago. They had those insecurities. They had they were looking for people to help them out. So they are always available and they really help out. I mean, I've known people where they've told their juniors, okay, we've got all the utensils you need, just carry a knife. So this is a very Abhi, when you hear it, it might sound very stupid and no significance. But when you're packing and you have a thing, ki mere ko se 50 kilos carry karna hai. That time, if you just need to carry one knife and no pressure cooker and no kadhai, it's a blessing. So they'll help you from where to buy ration from to how to do your application, a mock interview, and also a lot of time they refer you, and those reference, I must say it's all over the world. Reference do wonders. Yeah, so this is more or less on the placement assistance. And in case 1%, we don't encourage people to come back to India immediately after completing course, but due to some, like say, family emergency or health issues or something happens that you have to come back, then again, the GMP alumni, it's not an official thing where SPJMR would take care of it. But yes, as a program office, we do try to help you out. Yeah. But as I mentioned, we wouldn't want that to happen. If it's possible, it's best to work in the country you've gone, because you're taking loans and you're paying your fee in dollars. So it's better you earn in dollars and pay it off and then come to India as a free bird and enjoy.
Man, and with that, actually, we would like that experience as well, because we select that place because we want to work there, learn there, and then live there for few years at least. So that all adds up, not just for your professional career, but for your life as well. So I think that is one opportunity to look forward to.
Yeah, and I would also like to add that if you are working abroad for a few years and coming back to India, the kind of avenues that open up for you, probably a person who's graduated from IIM. So I'd be really proud to say that the first Indian to join World Bank headquarters was our alumni, Rahul Gupta. and उसके 2 या 3 साल बाद first person from IIM joined them. So now if Rahul comes to India and he starts working, the kind of positions and the roles he'll get will be mind-boggling. So these are a few opportunities, and we have given the alumni profiles on our website. You are almost welcome to go through them, see the kind of organizations, designations, and locations they are working at. And if you aspire, to work in such places, then you can always connect with them or with us and see how we can work together.
So yeah, a last couple of questions. This one is for Bhavana. So what changes do you see in yourself, in your personality, or on your perspective, having completed the GMP course?
Okay, so this I think would be a very special question as well, because when I started, as I said, not confident at all if MBA is for me. But right now, it's not just if MBA is good for me, I have that confidence. Yes, I can do this. I mean, I can move to a new country. I can just go apply for job opportunities, and I'm pretty sure I will be able to make it. So that confidence is what GMP gave me, and and on top of it, the network I've built. Uh, Professional networks, it's easy to build, but the kind of relationship we get through GMP and the alumni network is really good. So they keep pumping you up with when you're low. They keep telling you if you're flying too high, more than what you should, they will actually tell you the reality as well. So overall, I think when you join as an individual, but when you leave GMP, you are in that network, in that relationship, and in that batch which you will carry. And wherever you go, you just say that I was in GMP, I was batch this, and then they will immediately connect to you, respond to your mails, and that feeling is really good.
Yeah, I think safe to say that none of us are the same person going in as we will be coming out.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
definitely. I think let's just look at us. I mean, I might not know you much, but as
Yeah.
soon as you join GMP, we have been having conversations, and it just feels like I will help you out with everything you want, because
Yeah.
it's so easy to communicate. It's so easy to build that relationship.
Yeah.
So all these relationships, I think, is another gift from GMP.
Definitely. Yeah. Thanks, Bhavana. And there's one final question asking about the salary expectation post completion of the course.
Bhavana, you would like to take this?
Yes, ma'am. So obviously each university have different expectations, but for Brandeis, it is from 85,000 USDs to 100,000 USDs. Uh, but again, it depends on what you want to do and which job opportunity you're looking at. Because as I said, that career coach will tell you where all you can apply, and you will get to know what are the salaries they are offering. But at the end of the day, it's you who has to select, and
Correct.
you who has to prepare yourself, who has to work and get that internship. They will make you ready for the job, but you need to do it. You need to get selected. So overall, yes, the opportunity is amazing, and you will get high paid salary, higher salaries than these. But you have to keep looking for opportunities. It depends from country to country. It depends from place to place.
Right.
Can I just add on to this? So if you're graduating from USC Marshall, your salary, of course, would be somewhere between 100,000 and above. Yeah, because that's the world's #1 course that you're doing. If you're doing MQF from, say, Robert Smith, again, you'll be like, we've got alumnus who works for Freddie Max. So the thing is, we really don't have exactly the figures, but we have a ballpark figure and a range, because I'm sure nobody is very comfortable sharing their salaries. And so how I mentioned, so there could be a range. So like say Stevens, it'll have a particular kind of job market that it caters to. Then Brandeis will cater to another types. USC will cater to another one. So you can go through the partner school placement cells also. So like Stevens, they're very quick at placing all their students. Their salaries might not be very high, but their placements are really quick. So Brandeis might take slightly longer, but their placements are going to be slightly better than Stevens. USC, the placements are going to be much better. The same is with the MQF, because what you're doing is a very, very specialized program. So when you're doing the global supply chain, you're doing the MQF, it's super specialized and companies are waiting to hire you. Yeah, if you like have been consistently doing well, if you worked on a company project. So we have had alumni who have like worked with the prof. They worked on a project, then the prof got them to a company project where they met the CEO. The CEO took in them as an intern, and they managed to get a job. So again, how I said, job कहाँ करना है, कौन सी company में करना है, that's up to you, and how you focus it and how you work towards it. So ultimately, it boils down to you. Yes, we all are instrumental. We'll help you out, but initiative is yours, and then the decision, of course, is yours.
And ma'am, for all the participants here, what is the last day to apply for the Jan intake, and how do we fill the form?
Sure. So the form link, Divya, please post it in the chat. The form is already online. You just have to complete the form, GMP form as well as the partner school form, right? So you those are two different things, but you don't have to pay any fee for the partner school form. If you're facing any issues, please get back to us. We'll help you out. The last date would be end of September. If somebody is applying without any scores right now, it'll be best if you can submit them to us by end of October. We want to wrap up the admission process before December, early, like end of November rather, so that people who are like who have to quit or who have to serve a longer notice period, they have enough time. So we are a little flexible. We can help each one on case-to-case basis if there's any special requirement. But these are more or less the broader deadlines.
And a question has just come in on the chat box. Is there an analytics course for USC partner school?
USC?
Yes.
No, USC we only have supply chain right now.
Okay.
Analytics course is available with Stephen and Brandeis both.
Okay.
If you go to our website, there's a widget for the fee. That fee table has each specialization also. So you can just go through that, and if there's any particular course that you're looking at, you want to connect with any specific alumni and you can't locate them or they're not responding, please get in touch with me. I'll try my level best to connect the two of you and clear your doubts.
So ma'am, we're at the end of the questions.
Sure. So how Zeel mentioned, we have a series of webinars going on. Next week, Aks is going to join us from New York. We are having that around 6:30 on 26th, I think. So please join in. And 28th, sorry. So I'll share all the details with you, all of you. It will be available on our social media handles as well. Please register. And if there's any specific question, you can always share them well in advance so that he has the answers for you. Otherwise, of course, you can come up with questions there and then. And if you have friends or relatives or cousins who are looking at studying, you can always pass on the message to them and they can join us in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. And in case there are any questions that you come up, you have something more, you can always write to Bhavana. Bhavana,
Yes,
can you please share your email ID on the chat? But please, please consider that she's traveling, so she's got a lot of packing to do, a lot of things to finalize before she leaves. So give her a little time to respond. And the same is if you're writing to any alumni abroad. You know, there's a slight time difference. Then you have to realize that when you're abroad, you're doing everything for yourself. You're cooking, you're stacking up your ration, you're washing for yourself, as well as you're doing your job, and you have to go and enjoy life and see places. So give them a little time, and I'm sure everybody will get back to you. So thank you. We'll end the session here. And you can always connect with the GMP team or Zeel or any one of us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.